everybody. Thanks for joining us for this mat class today. I'm Lauren. I'm here with Kaylee, and we are going to take you through a nice full body workout, and we're starting all the way down on the floor today. My goal with this session is that you get the front, the back, and both sides of your body feeling really well rounded and balanced by the end. And so we're going to try to dress your body parts very evenly in today's workout. So I'll have you have a seat on your mat. Bring your legs out in front of you. And let's start in front of you, but let's start with bent knees today. So we'll let your feet come together. Just open your knees nice and wide and grab onto the front of your ankles. And from there, lift your back nice and flat. There. And let's just start with a nice deep breath here to get your posture. Start to connect your mind to your body. Just going to get a little sense for where you're starting today. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling out through your mouth. As you take your inhales, feel like your ribs are expanding side to side, like gills on a fish. Inhale, nice. And exhale, draw your ribs towards each other. Good. You can feel it's engaging your abdominals nice and deep in the core. And exhale. One of the reasons we'll use this type of breathing, that lateral breathing, is so that you can hang on to your abdominal control, especially on the inhales when we're doing some ab work today. Let's take one more inhale to prepare. As you exhale, stretch your neck forward, stretch that upper back. You can start to let your hands just reach towards the floor in front of you and feel that back start to release. With the open knees, you just create a little more space for your pelvis to come forward. Inhale at the bottom and exhale, stack your spine back up, one vertebrae at a time. Good, lifting up nice and tall. Again, inhale. And exhale, rolling down. Try and think of a nice even curve through your whole spine. And reaching with the hands forward. Avoid any shrugging. So let that stretch really come from your back, not your shoulders. Pull those shoulders back a little. Yes. Inhale. And exhale, roll back up. Stack your low back, your mid back, your upper back, and your head. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, round and rolling forward. Think the ribs pulling towards your back, the navel pulling in towards your back, and just getting that nice reach forward here. Inhale. Exhale, like you're stacking against that imaginary wall behind you. Roll to the top. And take your opposite hand to your front knee, your knee towards the camera, and just take this other hand behind you. Find a nice twist stretch, so just getting your spine kind of moving in a couple different directions to loosen up today. And come back through center and switch your sides, opposite hand to knee, the other arm behind, and feel that nice twist. And gently back center. Reach your arms straight out in front of you. Get some nice energy in your arms reaching out through the fingertips and come into that rounded position we found, but this time not so much of a stretch, but get those abs drawing in. Pull your abs towards your back here, even a little more. Try and round that lower back. Good. And from here, exhale, roll down to your low back. Stay in your C curve. Roll, start to peel down towards the mat beneath you. Let's go just to the sacrum. Inhale, chin up a little. And exhale, round, come forward. Good. Try and hollow that abdominal wall. So again, when you inhale, think those outer ribs expand. Exhale, scoop your core in and roll back to your sacrum again. Arms traveling right in line with the shoulders. And just keep your gaze straight forward so we don't end up too deep a flexion in your neck. Relax your shoulders down a little more at the shoulders. There it is. And exhale right back up again. It's really tricky too to get your back to round without your shoulders rounding. The two, for some reason, are like a couple. They can't do anything without each other, but we gotta separate once in a while. Round that lower back down. Keep the shoulders. That's it. Good. And the head. Good. And get that low back just to kiss the mat and right back up again. Starting to work for that bigger range. One more time. And roll back down. Plant those feet down nice and firm. Hold this position. Lift your arms to the ceiling. Interlace your hands behind your head and lower that head, neck, chest down. Before we do our chest lifts, bend your knees a little deeper. There we go. And we're ready to go. Inhale. Exhale. Lift that chest up and reaching forward. And head nice and heavy. That looks really good. Inhale. And exhale, lower down. I love that there's no change in the pelvis here. We want to have that natural curve in your lower back. Exhale as you come up. No change in that pelvis, but those lumbar vertebrae, your low back there, can just slightly press in towards the mat. Inhale. And exhale, lower. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lifting up. This is where that lateral breathing comes in. Inhale, breathe out with the ribs. That way you can hang on to your core. And exhale, lower down. Inhale again. And exhale, curl up. Inhale. And exhale, lower down. And two more in. And exhale, lifting up. Inhale. Exhale, down. Last one, we'll stay up. We'll go into a couple rotations. Lifting up. Get the height. Now I want to get a little more height, so reach your hands forward, press your palms together, and think maybe just right up towards your knees. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Good. Now take that, rotate to one side. Just hands off the side of your thigh, and lift center. Exhale to the other side, and lift center, and rotate, and center, and keep reaching without the shrug forward. Let that come from the waist. Really nice, Kaylee. And come center. And rotate. And center. And twist. And center. And twist. And center. I don't want to see any movement of the pelvis. As you go to one side, keep both hip bones anchored. Yes. Last one to the first side. Now hold. Pulse the fingers forward. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Deepest in the oblique here. Back center, keep it. Other side, rotate. Watch that hip stays heavy. Good. And we lift for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Back center. Lift the arms up. Keep them to the ceiling. Rest that head down. Oh yes, arms to a T. That neck's happy to come down. Let's go. One leg tabletop. 2 legs tabletop. Zip your legs, lift your shins nice and parallel to the floor. And if you're on like this raised mat, perfectly fine. If you want to grab a bend, if you have dowels on the edge of your mat at home. If not, we'll keep the arms nice and wide. And let's go into your spine twist. Take your hips to one side, lift the pelvis. And exhale, pull back center. And inhale, rotate. And exhale, center. Again, inhale. And pull down, exhale, good. And breathe in. And out. And inhale. And exhale. Look at Kaylee's really moving knees and feet together. So she's not fishtailing, meaning the feet stay behind but the knees go, or the feet go but the knees stay behind. She takes a lot of control, moving from the waist only. And center. And inhale. And pull that rib cage down, 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 down. And inhale. Exhale, drawing in the abs. One more each twist. And center. Good. And last one, twist. And center. Good. From here, grab right on top of your knees. Pull with your arms, get your chest nice and high. And you can bend those arms a little wide so you have some use of your biceps. That's what's going to help get your chest up. Now let's take the left hand to your right knee, and the right hand will go right on top. So you'll stack your palms. Use that opposite hand. It's going to help that connection. Bringing your opposite rib cage around. Stretch your left leg out straight. Aim for a nice straight line with your toes. Inhale. Exhale, change your hands, change your feet, and switch, and boom. A little higher with the shin, good, and switch, and boom. Same with this shin. Now, I like the shin up. Go ahead and keep going because it's going to give you some resistance. If the shin's relaxed, you don't have a lot to push against. If you keep it up, you can use it to pull against to help get your chest higher. And boom. Yes, I love it. And boom. And boom. And boom. Very nice straight line on that left leg straightening. Boom. And boom. And boom. Think just up, navel back. And switch. And switch. And switch. We warmed up those obliques, so let's add them back in. Hands interlaced behind your head. Keep the legs going and twist to the bent side. And switch. And boom. Keep the elbows a little wider for me. Yes. And boom. And boom. Legs just slice past one another. And 3. And switch. Keep the elbows wide. 2. And switch. And 1. And switch. Come back in. Rest the head down. Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a quick moment. Recover. Let that back release. Now let's do one. This is still for your core, but it's more stability, less of moving. And so we'll take your left leg down. Send that leg all the way straight. Right leg up to the ceiling. And if you have tighter hamstrings, you might not get a full straight leg like you could if you were on the diagonal. But what's important is I want this knee over the hip so that when you do, you're stretching as much as you can, and at least this bone is stacking right over the joint. Flex your foot. Take your arms down to your sides, and we'll take a circle here. So cross your midline first, or down and around, and back center. So exhale, down and around, back center. And next one, you inhale, down and around, and center. What I don't want to see is any movement in the pelvis, the torso. And exhale, down and around, center, and in, down and around, center, and out, down and around, center. One more breath in, and one more breath out. Catch it up at the top. Point your foot. Grab behind your leg. Just give yourself a little stretch. Wherever you can reach, you're welcome to let your head just rest down. Once you have your leg, give yourself a couple breaths here for the hamstring. I just want to do something. It's called PNF stretching. It's short for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitated stretching, which just in a sense is trying to get your muscles to contract shorter when we stretch them so that when they release, wow, they can stretch a little further than they thought maybe they could go. So what you're going to do is really get a nice strong clasp with your hands, and all you're going to do is try and break through your hands using your hamstring, like you're trying to push your leg down towards the floor. So we're going to take that really strong pressing, give it all you've got for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Immediately, your hamstring should just come a little bit further. Don't force it. We'll do that one more time. Second time, inhale. Exhale, start to push your leg to your hands. Don't let that budge. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A little closer. And very nice. Bend your knee. Slide your leg out to meet your other leg. And just do a quick check for yourself. How your legs feel in comparison. The side we've worked, and the side we haven't worked. And then we'll go ahead and do it all again. We want to even them out. So rest your arms down. We'll bend your other knee. Send it to tabletop. Now you've established the upper leg, so don't change that as you extend your knee as straight as you can. That's it. Flex your foot. And we go from here. Inhale, circle around. And exhale, circle around. So Kaylee, I want her to watch her right hip when she gets to this wide point, that it doesn't follow. Because your legs are heavy. It's going to want to naturally pull your body to follow it. Inhale. She's feeling. There we go. Exhale. And in. And out. I like it. Now bring the arm back. Keep the pelvis the same. Better. And out. Even if it's a smaller circle. No, we don't care. Inhale. It's about that core again, remember. Reverse directions. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Better on this direction. Exhale with that core. She's got it figured out. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more breaths in. And out. 1 more breath cycle. Breathe in. And breathe out. Catch your leg up at the top. Grab on. Give yourself that nice pull and that stretch. One thing I love Kaylee's doing really good is keeping this bottom leg anchored, so she's also getting a little hip flexor stretch. Watch the leg you're stretching. Try and draw that hip down opposite direction of the shoulder so we don't end up hiking. We'll go into that P and F stretching again. So on this side, take your inhale. Try and break through your hands. Push, push, push for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release just a little further. And we'll take it one more time. And exhale, push, push for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Your muscles contract, they shorten. So the idea is that by pushing into your hands, you're trying to contract your hamstrings. And if they're like, oh, I'm shortened, then they know, oh, I can lengthen more. Let's go ahead and bend this knee. Set it down next to your other leg. Do that quick check again. Notice if anything changed. We'll zip your legs together. Let's take a couple roll-ups. Let's stretch the arms overhead nice and long. Reach some energy out those fingertips, and I'd come up a couple inches with your arms just to see, if we can get the ribs to relax. If there's a space in your upper back, raise your arms a little higher. Good. Nice and straight with your elbows. Yes, using your triceps. We'll go arms, head, neck, chest, lift into that C curve. Just like we did with the bent knees, we'll roll up, draw the shoulders down, there, and continue the back forward. Good. And arms at shoulder height. Yes, and I love that you didn't add the shoulders when you lifted your arms. Good. Roll it back down. I'm okay if our knees are a little soft when we go through that lower back. If you're tighter, your back, your hamstrings, softening your knees might actually let you get into your abs more because it'll release your back some if that's fighting you. Arms, head, neck, chest, like right here. Even biasing a little this way, even if the knees are slightly soft, can help you release that low back so that it's abs first and not hip flexors. I like the back, but next one I don't want to see those shoulders sneak up. And roll down. Good, and then as soon as you can, they can straighten back out. We'll go 3 more roll-ups. Inhale. And good, relaxing those shoulders down, and good, keep the shoulders back as you roll. Yes, best one yet. And round forward. Inhale a little higher with the head. And exhale, pull the abs in. The shoulders are still back. And that one's probably been a little longer before you start to straighten. It might feel more comfortable. Let's go up for 2. Arms, head, chest, hit that line, and peel forward with the abs, not the head, not the shoulders. Good. And staying round. Inhale, pull in here. Yes. Exhale, feel like you're pulling back deeper to take you down. We've got one more. So she's staying bent a little longer, which I like. You get that release, then you straighten, and that way your feet don't fly up. Which over time, you do this a lot, you're going to get straight legs without your feet coming up. But if you always do it with your feet coming up, it's just going to keep your hip flexors, your back, both of those working. It's going to make it hard to condition and train your core. That looks really nice. Arms a little higher up. Good. And flatten up your backs. Good. Sit nice and tall. And take your gaze forward. We'll straighten out your legs as straight as you can, flexing your feet. and open your legs out, shoulder width apart. And again, if you feel like you're rocked off the back side of your sit bones, come a little forward there. It's okay to soften your knees. We'll take an inhale. Let's just stretch your head forward like we did at the beginning, but a little more control now that we're getting more warm through that mid back. That back of your ribs, the low back. Gently just reach forward. Keep the ankles really strong. It's going to increase your hamstring stretch. And exhale, roll back up. Feel like you're peeling against a wall. And good. Inhale. And exhale, chin. Stretch that upper mid back. While the mid back's going, your low back's still on the wall. Don't forget it. And then when you get to that spot in your spine, then peel away. Engage the back. Good. Back armpits just a little drawn down. And take it up. I love it. Now I'm going to let go. One more. Without any feedback, rolling down. Moving that spine. Shoulders a little. Good. And exhale. Take yourself back to the top. And let's go ahead and give yourself another stretch here. So open your arms out and around behind you. Interlace your hands. Gently extend through your arms and see if you can get the arms to raise just a little. Big stretch for your pecs, front side of your shoulders. Take a big breath in and out. I love how tall Kaylee's still using her trunk, her back to stay vertical. And out. One more stretch there. Inhale and exhale. Release your hands. And let's go ahead and lay down on your back. We're going to use that we just stretched out, so we're going to want to keep those shoulders down. And let's go into a roll over. So we'll start with your arms resting by your hips. Bend your knees. Take one leg to tabletop. Take the other leg up. Zip your legs, and we'll get into a nice diagonal line. Now this line, somewhere where you can hold the weight of your legs without arching your back. So your core hollow here. Even if it's a little higher, that gets you out of your back, that's your spot. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, roll yourself over. Think of your toes going behind you versus towards the ceiling. And here, stretching your legs at a nice parallel line to the floor. Flex your ankles, get a little more hamstring stretch. Open your legs hip width apart. And if you can, without changing your back, tip your toes down slightly. We'll keep that thigh nice and close towards you as you roll down. Thigh towards your chest. Roll nice and slow. Nice and slow. Keep your feet flexed nice and strong. Point your toes. Lower. And back to your diagonal again. We inhale, lift up. Exhale, scoop. It's just like your pelvic curl. Rolling over. And flex. Separate. Lower. Roll down. Roll down. Straight. Stretch those knees. Point. Lower. Then zip together. One more roll over. Inhale. Exhale. Feel like you're going to your pelvic curl. And roll over. We're getting lifted. Flex. Separate. Hinge at the hips. Keep the back lifting. I like to pretend I have like that tiger tail going straight up to the roof. Roll down. Think of all the extra Pilates repertoire we did. Bend your knees. Come back in. Set one foot down. Set the other foot down. We haven't done our pelvic curls yet, believe it or not. We're this late into it. We're going to go into it next. Separate your feet just a couple inches. Narrow out the arms. That's always important. If you are tight in your shoulders, get those arms close to your body. Over time, it's just going to help get them into a more relaxed position. Inhale. Exhale. Let's take that scoop in. Abs first. Good. Get the low back really touching your mat. Now peeling up. You'll notice probably if you do pelvic curls at the beginning of your mat sessions often, it should feel a little different once you're a little warmer like we are. Exhale, roll down. And I think for Kaylee, what we're going to do after she finishes neutral is bring her feet much closer towards her sits bones. There, she's going to get a lot more height and more articulation stretch now. So again, we exhale, draw in the abs. Already I can see there's more range. She starts to lift just the tailbone up, like somebody's pulling that sacrum up. And coming up piece by piece. And she's getting as close to that straight line without arching her back. So she's still trying to pull the abs down a little while the tailbone is lifting a little. Inhale. And exhale. Roll down. Deepen that posterior tilt, that tuck. And neutral. Inhale. Exhale. Lifting at the pubic bone. Think that's the highest point in the torso when you get to the top, so that your hip bones don't end up in a flat line. And good. Closing that gap will help too between the ribs, top of the pelvis. Inhale. Exhale, roll down. And come all the way back to neutral. And really nice work. There we go. What did I just say? Okay, thank you. I think what we should do next, how much time we have. He's been telling me too long. Okay. So from here, let's go ahead and stay lying down, but straighten out your legs. Flip over onto your side, and we'll get into a little bit of lateral work. So we're, again, thinking about balancing out the body. We've done a lot for the core, the hamstrings, the hip flexors already, the back. So let's get our sides. So we'll come into a nice straight line. You can actually lay all the way down. And we'll take this arm all the way up overhead, palm facing the ceiling with that extended arm. And your other arm, plant that full palm right in front of you. And don't be afraid to use it for some support. Stretch out through your knees. You get this nice length in your back, pulling the abs in. And a lot of us might feel a lot more temptation to go into our back here. So I want you to just think bias slightly towards that posterior tilt, just like we were practicing in the pelvic curl. And I can see already with just that thinking, Kaylee's, all the wrinkles on her shirt evened out the front and the back. So I know she's not only into the back side, but she's working a little more in the core here. Good. So from here, inhale. Tilt your pelvis straight up to the side, lifting your legs. And inhale to lower back down, just hover. Exhale, tilt straight up. And inhale. Now we're starting to get into that back again, so find that posterior. Keep it as you lift your legs. Yes, you can feel that. And inhale. And exhale, lifting up. Good. And lower down. Think long with the back, up with the front. Zip. Inhale. And exhale, lift. Your feet can be a little in front of your straight line, especially if you're somebody who likes to go into your back. It's not incorrect to just modify, bring your feet slightly forward. And 3 more lifting up. We're going to stay on the last one. Inhale down and lifting up for 2. And down. Keep reaching nice long out the feet. And 1. Hold it at the top. Now little lifts up. So we'll take a little lift up, 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 up. And lift and lift and up, 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 up. Same thing. Turn legs out and lift, 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 lift. Find that top range. Pull the abs in. And now hold. Same thing with the feet. The feet will do little beat. Beat both legs. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and beat. 2, 3. Focus on the inner thighs and beat and parallel beat. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Little beats. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Legs are zipped. Lower down. Bend the top leg in front of you. Plant your foot flat on the mat. And open as wide as you can, as close to getting perpendicular with your shin. Now just the bottom leg is going to go out and up, keeping the inner thigh work. And lower down. Then exhale, lift. And lower down. And rock a little forward for me here. Good. And down. And lifting up. And down. And up. And exhale, lift. Inhale. And exhale. Try and draw your ribs a little back. Good. And one more. Up, hold. Get that topmost point. Now beat for 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch, lift as high as you can. Lower down and gently swing your legs around to the other side. And we'll do it all again, starting with the waist, the obliques. Good, get that nice straight line running through your trunk. Bring your top hip right over your bottom hip. And think it just here, maybe there's a little less pressure under your waist. Keep the hip forward though. Just so you know that you're not already starting in a curve in your spine, a lateral curve. You want to keep both sides, the top and the bottom, nice and long to start. One way you can do that is by reaching the toes nice and long of your top foot. Well, let's make sure your top arm is in line with the rest of your back. Move it back a little more for me. Good. And press this hand in front. Good. Chin forward. So the head, don't forget about that head alignment as well. And from here, we exhale, tilt the pelvis, lift your legs up. And inhale, hover. And exhale, tilt. And inhale. And exhale, up. Inhale. And exhale, lift. Inhale, focusing on the front side, just because your back, if it's tight, a lot of us have tight backs. We don't need to encourage that balance getting further and further out of proportion between your back and your obliques. So get the front side as your focus. Good. And exhale, lift. And down. It's tempting, especially when we're at home, we don't have a lot of eyes on us, we don't have mirrors, to look at yourself. If you do need to make an adjustment, don't forget, reset the head, because then you'll end up practicing a nice forward position with your neck, and we don't want to add into any imbalances while we're in class. Let's stay at the top. Little beats from the waist first. Lift, 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 and lift. Lift, 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 and turn feet out and lift, 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 and again, just stay. 5 more, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Now the feet, both inner thighs beat, 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 da da da, beat, 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 beat. Inner thighs squeeze parallel feet. Now beat, beat, beat. Beat. That parallel gives you a new angle. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Bend your knee, your top knee, and set that foot in front of you. Opening the hips. You're using your rotators, trying to get this shin as close to perpendicular as you can. And take this bottom leg nice and straight, and we'll reach out. We go up and inhale down. Exhale, lift up. And inhale, and lift up, and inhale, and exhale, lift, and inhale. Finding a nice full range. Each time you get to the top, just see, can I push through where I thought, or where my body naturally wants to stop? And lower without losing anything else up here. Pull that hip forward a little, ribs back a little, good. And 3, inhale, and 2, inhale, and 1. Beat up at the top. 10, 9, and 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, straight knee, and 2, yes, and 1. Lift as high as you can, lower down, and let's come on to all fours. Push yourself up to quadruped. And now that our sides are warm, we've done some ab work, we've done some back stretching. Let's try and put it all together here. So you're in a nice flat position with your spine. I love the stability in Kaylee's shoulder blades. I don't want them winging, and I don't want your back rounding. She's got her abs drawing up, and from here, nothing changes. Take one leg back behind you. And here, a lot of abs, nothing changes. Take the other leg back behind you. We're in this nice front support position. Bring your chest forward just a little towards the front edge of that mat. Chest that away. Good. Now bend one knee. We pull it in. Inhale back. Slide the other leg forward and back. I'm okay if it drags on the floor. Actually, I'd prefer it for a lot of people, unless you have long arms, because I don't want you to lift your hips in order to make your shin pass underneath you. And pull, and up, and pull, and up. No movement in the pelvis, no movement in that torso. Abs still drawing up, and pull, and each side 2, and 2, and last 1, and last 1. Straighten your legs out, bring that chest down just a little again, and bend one knee in, bend the other knee in. Sit back on your heels and just let your wrists stretch. You can kind of roll them out overhead if you need one. And just give yourself a moment to recover from front support. We're going back into the same position for a couple leg lifts. So when you're ready, work your way back onto your quadruped. Try and reset. Just nice and flat. And send one leg out. Send the other leg out. Stay nice and flat in the back. Don't lift in that upper back. Lift in the low back, but not the upper. Upper back, go a little forward. And let's point your right foot and lift from your hamstrings, glutes. Lift 5. And tap down and lift up 4. Pelvis a little lower. And that's it. 3. Now I'm happy. And 2. And last one. 1. Tuck those toes under. Left leg point and lift up 5. And lift up 4. And lift up 3. And lift up 2. This side even better. Lift up 1. Set the toes down. Gently bend your elbows lower down towards the floor. And take your your legs out straight. Take your arms down by your thighs. And let's take a little back support, or a back extension here. Palms face in. Stretch out. And let's take an inhale. Start to look out with your gaze, coming up through that mid back, down a little with the chin. And exhale, lower down. Zip together. Good. And inhale, out and up. Now, not the little, I call it the exclamation with the head. Watch, your neck's really flexible, but the rest of your back can't do that same curve. You want that nice, even shape. So a little less. Good. And down. Now, I loved how you went less of the head, but still start with that spot in your back. So that starts good. Then this, then this. Oh, those arms are working really hard. Inhale. Exhale down. And one more, out and up. Inhale here. And exhale, lower down. Let's take your hands behind your back again, palms up, and interlace your hands. Let your elbows draw down towards the floor. You can just turn your gaze to one side and let your palms face more toward the ceiling. There, and let those elbows as low as you can get them. This is going to really stretch out the shoulders, the back side of the shoulders. And just take a couple of breaths there to enjoy that stretch. You can turn your gaze over to the other side, even out the twist in your neck. And as you're ready, take your hands underneath you. Press yourself up. And let's go ahead and work your way back up to standing. We'll do a couple of roll downs just to finish our session. Started with the seated roll down. We're a lot more integrated. Let's come back to a standing so we can get the lower body adding in. Open the arms. Good. Just bring the hands back right underneath your shoulders. Inhale here. And exhale. Let yourself peel forward. Just like the spine, stretch that back coming against the wall. Inhale. And relax the neck. Exhale, roll up. Stack that pelvis first. Stack your low back, your mid back, and your upper back. We'll take that one more time. Inhale. And exhale, roll down. Let those shoulders melt. Inhale, energy in those hands. And roll back up. All right. Awesome work, Kaylee. Awesome work at home. We hope you feel really good, front, back, side to side, everything working nice and integrated. And we'll see you for another video shortly.